Hi, and welcome to a new episode of the Aligned Cosmopolitan Podcast. I am your host, Oletu Kumalo, and I know I've been gone for a while, but I ask you to just bear with me because I've been really busy. Grade 11 is not a joke, guys. So this year, I'm trying to be a focused hun. So on the last episode, we discussed the relevant points on how you can cultivate and initiate growth. This is a very important topic because to start something may not be easy, but it's easier than sustaining it. So without further ado, let's get into it. I want you to think of this podcast as a process of building a luxurious mansion. It won't be quick and easy, but in the end, it'll totally be worth it. I want you to see yourself as this mansion because you are the mansion. This mansion was already an existing house, but it wasn't as big and luxurious as it is about to become. Now, this house was not the typical house that people would go for, but you could not miss the fact that this house had a lot of potential with a few things to change. Okay, maybe a lot of things, but anyways. Eventually, the owner of the house, which is the brain, realizes the house's potential and decides to change it and transform it so that it could reach its full potential. So the first step is to completely break down the house and bulldoze it completely, which is what we did on the first episode when we are setting our goals and starting on a clean slate. And then we gathered our building material. So step 2 was building your foundation. Now the foundation has to be the strongest part because the rest of the mansion is dependent on the foundation. It is essential. Now, we have already built our foundation, which was initiating and cultivating growth on the last episode. Now, we're going to carry on with our foundation because we have to make sure that it's sturdy and unshakable. So this whole imagery that I've been using might have been a little weird, but the house is you. This house is literally you. So, when you rebuild a house, it's a very lengthy process. The same goes for when you start on a clean slate and you start to unlearn unhealthy habits and beliefs. I mean, neither of the two will happen overnight. Building and working on yourself is a very hard and painful journey. I think the hardest part is when you completely demolish the old you and you have to start learning new habits in order to become your best self. And it's not just habits that you need to change, it's your whole way of thinking, and it all just requires time and patience. And if that is not one of your strengths, then it would be a great time to teach yourself those virtues. But one thing I know is that this hard and lengthy process is a very rewarding one. It is the process of finding self, and it is so beautiful, so embrace the journey. So let's get into how you can sustain your personal growth. You might want to grab a pen and paper because I'm about to list these things, so just be on standby and write these things. You can type them, whatever works for you. Number 1 on our list is discipline. Okay? Now, this one is a very hard one, and I don't mean to scare you, but it is hard. It doesn't mean that just because it's hard, it's not attainable. I mean, I know that I struggle with this the most, but as I've been on this journey, I've improved immensely. So how did I do it? Well, first of all, tunnel vision. Knowing exactly what you want is the first step. But let's be honest, sometimes it's just not enough. So the next step is to teach yourself how to be disciplined. And you can do this by doing something that is extremely uncomfortable. And you need to commit yourself to doing it consistently. I cannot stress this enough. I take cold showers every day, twice every day. I mean, it's extremely uncomfortable for me, but I do it anyways. And I find that it has helped me to become more disciplined. Of course, every day I get the temptation to just use hot water, but what helps is to remember why you started in the first place. Keep the prize in mind. Each time you start a new habit and you consistently keep up with the habit, you create a new pathway in your brain. And I remember there's a specific scientific term for this, but I literally cannot remember. But the more you do the habit, the stronger the path becomes, and your brain automatically deletes those old habits. It's like when you use a muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. So try an uncomfortable habit like taking cold showers. Try it for a while and just observe your behavior. Number 2 on our list is consistency. Consistency is like the holy grail for sustaining personal growth. And I cannot stress this enough also. It's one of those things that could either make or break your journey, and it all just comes down to how much you want that growth. You've got to really have the hunger for it, Number 3, go at your own pace. It is not a race. You're not in competition with anyone but yourself. It's not a race, it's not a marathon. It's not about perfection, but rather progress. And all of this really sounds like cliche, but it's the truth. It's only the truth. Number 4, make sure you have passion. Don't push yourself to do something you don't want to do. You've got to make sure that you are doing it from the place of pure passion and desire. And I think I have an exercise that can help you to recognize your passions. This exercise is sort of like shadow work, which we will break down some other time in another episode. So to begin, think of your passions, desires, and interests, and try to remember your childhood memories. What did you love to do as a child? What excited you as a child? Which activities made you feel happy? Really dig deep and try to remember all these details. Bill Gates said that you're likely to excel at something that you were obsessed with when you were between the ages of 12 and 18 years old. So as you do this exercise, don't worry if nothing stands out. Just think of something that sparks happiness in your life, like in this current moment. Number 5 on our list is curiosity. You're probably thinking, but curiosity killed the cat. No. Curiosity did not kill the cat. Curiosity cultivated and sustained someone's personal growth journey, and it could do that for you too. Observe yourself, and observing your feelings, thoughts, emotions. This is where the curiosity part comes in. Ask yourself where they stem from, or what triggered those feelings and emotions. Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions can tell you a lot about yourself and where you're falling short. So get curious, because you have all the answers within you. No one else has the answers besides you. You hold those answers, and I think it's important for you to know how powerful you are. You have all the answers within you. Everything that you need is within you. Alrighty, that is it for today from me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was very short, but it did get the message across, so I'm very happy. I hope you will, put these practices into place, so you can further your life and just, keep growing, man. Growth is an ongoing journey. It's not gonna stop one day. Every day we have the opportunity to choose growth. So choose growth every day. And I want to thank you for listening to this podcast, and just thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. And until then, I will see you next week. Bye.